What's poppin' Westchester? I'm Gene-Christian Baca from Walter's Hot Dogs.
This is the Westchester Pop.
I have been going to Walter's forever. Now it is like everyone in Mamaroneck, not in Mamaroneck, everywhere in Westchester is stable in my family. So, and you
Thank
guys,
you for that, by the way.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for adding some pounds to my entire family. Joyously, though, I will say.
Healthy pounds.
Healthy pounds, happy pounds. Congratulations on 105 years, I'll just say that.
Thank you.
What do you think is obviously it's the food, but what do you think is like the main reason for the success? I mean, there's obvious, it's a loaded question, but what would you say if you could throw one thing out?
You mentioned the food, of course, right? The consistency of the product and what people expect to have when they come here. But I think the biggest thing is the experience that customers have when they come here, and then that continues to build up the more they come here, and the memories that are created here, and then that's passed down from one generation to another generation, and now more memories are being created here. But it's one thing about, spending your money to buy hot dogs, fries, and a milkshake, but it's also of how it makes you feel and in the company that you're around for that experience.
I think, yeah, I mean, and I would agree. And by the way, these aren't props. We're going to totally eat these while we talk, because I'm not going to dead stare at these the whole time I talk to you. I definitely think it's the family vibe and yes, the product. And we're going to talk about the product.
Yeah.
But you're fourth generation now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and I think that carries through. Obviously, there's also like a throwback feel. I mean, there's nothing like you guys that are still around, but
And we don't take that for granted in any sense of the word, because we know how many just small businesses come and go over time. But the blood, sweat, and tears that we know, and what we don't know about our family, the previous generations, and what they had to do to hold on to the business, keep it in the family, maintain it, run it, and really make it successful.
so, and it's an outing and it's an experience, I find. And maybe when you live in Mamaroneck, you kind of take it for granted, or Larchmont, because it's right there and it's like, it's something fast. But like, I know from my kids, and yeah, maybe it's because, it's a hot dog, it's fries, it's a milkshake, it's tots. It's not exactly the world's. You don't want to eat it every day. Although you said your great grandfather lived to 95, so maybe you do.
My grandfather. Yeah, my grandfather.
Oh, it was your grandfather.
My grandfather lived to be 95, and his secret was
95.
a Walter's hot dog a day.
Okay.
That's what he would tell people.
So maybe we're doing it wrong. Maybe we're doing it. Maybe we're doing it wrong. But like, it's an event to go to Walter's. Like, and listen, your hot dogs are legendary. Not just in Mamaroneck, not just in Larchmont. I grew up in Yonkers, and I knew all about Walter's hot dogs.
Yeah. And
there was kind of like this myth about it, and I don't know if you, because you guys are pretty forthcoming of what's in the hot dog.
Yeah.
But I want you to share it anyway. There was, and maybe it's, I don't know, was the internet around? I mean, how freaking old am I? But there is this like, oh, I hear they put veal in the hot dog. There was like this whole thing, at least in Yonkers. I had friends in Amendment, in New Row. But was there a time where you guys were like, we're not going to tell people what's in the hot dog? Was there ever that time?
Yeah, I don't know if it was that versus no. I've seen articles over the years about our blend of hot dog. I mean, I've seen newspaper articles that focused on, from the 50s and 60s where it had our recipe. We've never given up like our trade secrets, but as far as like our formula of the meat, we've always been kind of forthcoming about it's a blend of beef, pork, and veal, which is extremely rare for a hot dog.
Yeah.
But that's also one of the things is that my great grandfather, he wanted to create something that was unique and didn't taste like a typical hot dog, and then to match a cooking style that would go right along with it.
Because you know what's in the hot dog and you guys are making the hot dogs, obviously. There is a stigma with hot dogs that they're not good for you.
Yeah.
So would you say, having a grandfather that, you know what, by the way, I think we should pause and actually eat the hot dogs while we're talking.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, please. Please.
So And by the way, are you ever like, do you still eat them?
Yes.
Just as a side
Yeah,
note?
no,
Yeah?
myself, my family, as far as owners, operators in the business, it's myself, my two sisters, and my mother, and we
Yeah.
all still eat them on a regular basis.
No. How could you not?
Yeah, no, it's, again, the toasted bun, split. It's just what we know. Comforting.
Very comforting. So what I was saying is, there is this stigma with hot dogs that they are horrible for you. And I think, you actually making them and knowing the secret sauce, these at least are kind of authentic, right? I mean, like they're made from actual real meat.
Yeah, when especially a couple of years ago, it was a thing with like hot dogs, they're not healthy for you and this and that. It all has to do with well, what type of hot dog are you eating? Just like with any product, right? There's levels of quality of the product and what actually goes into it. So yeah, I'm sure there are certain hot dogs that absolutely are not, the ingredients in itself aren't that good, right? Or overloaded with nitrates and those types of things. We have minimal nitrates in ours, just enough that we can go through everything, right? And keep our production where we need to be able to handle the amount of inventory we go through on a weekly basis. But also it's a skinless hot dog as well. And again, the ingredients that go into it as well. And I think a lot of that has to do with, since we've been in business over 100 years, 105 years, is the formula, it was much more simple back then than it is now, right? You weren't loading everything up like what you may do now, what companies may do now.
Talk to me a little bit about the evolution of Walters and the food trucks and everything, and just your background. Like, look, my dad is a bar mitzvah tutor,
Yeah.
and that didn't take for me. I'm not going around kids' houses and bar mitzvahing them. I don't know Hebrew, but and he tried, my dad, and that wasn't for me. Was this a natural progression for you, where you're like, boom, Walters is in the family, I'm going straight to Walters, or did you just kind of do your own thing and then bounce back?
So all of us in our family, like, we all knew at a very early age that there was something really special about this business. And a lot of it had to do because we were so close to my grandfather Gene and my grandmother Gloria, who's alive and she's 96. And her and my grandfather were married for over 70 plus years before he passed away. And we knew it was his life's passion. Even from an early age, when we would come here, we would just watch him, and we would just want to be around him. And we would love to see him make the ice cream. And we would love to see him interact with customers or introduce us as his grandkids. And it was just, he just, for people that knew him, he was just this larger than life figure here in Mamaroneck that was so involved in the community. And the passion and love that he put into the business, and that he, and how he made people feel, because he would always tell us, he goes, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
And we would see how he would make people feel, and we always knew it was something special. For myself personally, I always wanted to be involved in the business. I always did. From after college to finishing my MBA, I knew I wanted to be involved professionally in this business, but I didn't know what capacity, because at that time, we were still, a single location, small mom and pop, business. So where do I kind of come in, and where do I fit in? So I went off and after graduate school, and I got into sales, and I started my own marketing and sales firm. And I did that for over 7 years. I built it up, and I had different locations all over the United States, and I had over 300 employees. And I really gained a lot of real-world experience working with Fortune 500 clients and really getting to see what's out there. And I think my grandfather saw that as well, and my family saw that. And in 2013, my grandfather was about to be 90 years old, and he really, at that point, it was almost, he wanted a younger generation to come in, or he knew he wasn't going to live forever. As much as he wanted to, and to be there, and not to like give up his life's passion, he wanted other family members to join the business as well, and that's where I came in. And I left my career and I joined the family business, and you know, it was kind of a perfect storm where my mother was a college professor and she left her career as a college professor and an English professor, and she joined. And my sister Catherine was in a hospitality and PR firm in the city, a boutique firm, where she was helping, you know, restaurateurs and chefs launch their restaurants. And we all just came in and really leveraged our strengths and what we were good at. And then soon after, in 2014, we closed the business for 4 months, January 2014 to the end of April in 2014, and we just renovated the inside. And we said, let's get everything up to speed in like this modern operation to be able to really handle the, you know, the flow of traffic that we get every day. And that was really like our first initiative. And then in 2014, we had the idea of the food trucks, which my grandfather started a food truck in the late 70s and early 80s. He had it at Harbor Island as well, and different places, which people would still talk about. So we knew we always had a demand for like off-site catering events, because we would be asked, Joe, we'd be asked, can you come to our wedding? We love Walters, can you come to our wedding? You know, we're having our 1-year-old birthday party. Can you come for that? We're celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary. I was proposed to in the picnic area of Walters, and we want to commemorate that. Can you come to our home for our party? You know, so we knew there was a demand for it, and we just didn't know what capacity. So 2015 is when we really started to grow with launching our food truck.
So you're coming on the 10th anniversary of like the full-fledged
Food trucks.
And then where are you at with the White Plains spot? How many years?
7 years.
7 years already.
Yeah,
Wow.
so our grandfather passed away in August of 2016, and August 2017 we opened that location. So
You guys have like anniversaries and anniversaries and anniversaries. It's amazing.
yeah,
Says a lot, though.
and it stems from him, where the anniversaries and the anniversary celebration that we just had last month, that stemmed from him. Him and my grandmother created those anniversary celebrations as a way to give back to customers and the community and have a fun party the best we could.
But I love it though, because
Yeah.
it really sticks with the whole family vibe and just like community vibe that you guys have.
It was really special. Like this one was the first time that I could really just kind of enjoy it take it in,
Yeah.
right? So to see the families that came and the kids that loved it, and you know, folks that had been coming there, you know, 70 plus years that had to come and celebrate as well. It was a really special day for our family. So yeah, it was really cool.
So, Gene, when I reached out to you and told you kind of like what I wanted to do, yes, it's the hot dogs, right? And obviously, I mean, how can you not want to talk about the hot dogs? And I could talk to you about the hot dogs forever. But my kids, we've been going to Walters. We've lived in Mamaroneck. My kids are not this old, but I've lived in Mamaroneck for like 20 years. Friends in Mamaroneck, friends in Nero for like forever.
Yeah.
So I've known and been going to Walters forever. But for the hot dogs, I might add. But what I don't think that people know about is that you guys do other stuff. And not only do you do other stuff, you do it like remarkably well, homemade, and
Thank you for that.
yeah. And when I reached out to you, like my motivating thing was like, well, gee, everyone knows about Walters for their hot dogs,
Sure.
and not enough people know about it for the ice cream and the fries, right? Because like it's funny because I have 3 kids, 2 sons, 1 daughter. My middle child, Zachary in particular, is obsessed with your ice cream. So when I say like, do you want to go to Walters? What do you think? Like kids, right? They're like, oh, hot dog. Zachary's like, can I get a milkshake? Always.
Always.
It's the first thing that he says is
Yeah.
milkshake. So, chocolate milkshake. So, let's talk about your ice cream. I just want to delve into it. And by the way, we're going to go pop So I'm gonna
Yeah, so
jump in.
the pro tip is to dip it in our homemade mustard as well. But it's a buttery mashed potato bite. So mashed potato on the inside, kind of crisp outer shell there. They're fun, easy to eat.
Really good. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, listen, I've watched countless. You guys get a lot of press for obvious reasons, and well deserved. But the one thing that I think that you guys fly under the radar is the puffs are dope. And your fries are great. Obviously, fries complement
Yeah.
the dogs, but you guys fly under the radar with the ice cream that's homemade. You can literally get Breyers in there and no one's going to complain. So tell me a little bit about the ice cream.
So it started back in the 50s when it was really my grandfather Gene's idea to bring it in, and he started with frozen custard. And then he moved to hard, ice cream.
Yeah.
And it was something he was always just so proud of. It was ice cream and Italian ice. We make ice cream and Italian ice. So again, for over 70 years we've been making it here. And we still have all of his old recipes and everything in his book. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but for ice cream. And it's just something my grandfather always just put a lot of love into.
My grandfather was a shoe salesman.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out. No recipes, nothing. Sorry. God rest his soul. Loved him. But anyway, go ahead.
And
Sorry.
he'd have fun with it. The ice cream is the ice cream, but also the Italian ice especially. My grandfather loved to make our watermelon Italian ice, and then carve out the watermelon, and then put the watermelon ice in that watermelon, and bring it to Mamaroneck parties, whether it was for like the Elks or the Historical Society or the Old Timers or the fire department, or he would put the lemon ice, and he'd carve out a lemon on the inside and put the lemon ice in the lemon, put the top on, and he got joy out of it. That was his craft. He loved to do it so much. So we've taken so much pride in it. And listen, Westchester has so many great places for ice cream, right? So, and people don't know us as an ice cream shop, right? So I can see where we could fly a bit under the radar, but it's definitely, if you haven't tried it, you can't go wrong, whether it's the ice cream or Italian ice, but we make always, and we produce it practically 4 days a week to keep up with the demand of what we have. And we have dedicated people that they come in and they're making ice cream and Italian ice all day.
How many flavors do you have?
So for the ice cream that we make, which you can always find, is vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, which we use, fresh strawberries, Oreo, coffee, banana with sweet ripe bananas, and those are really our staples. And then from that, you get about 20 different flavor combinations that you can do. Like today my favorite is the banana split. Because it takes a little bit of everything, from the banana, the strawberry, the chocolate, right? I love that shake so much.
Wow.
But you can't go wrong. Coffee we turn into like a mocha.
Right.
The vanilla chocolate, turn it into a black and white or so.
So the reason I mention that is there's definitely some days where, like, my kids will be like, oh, I want Walters, and I'll be like, it's 95 degrees, I'm not really feeling like a hot dog right now. But I've taken them for shakes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the reason why I want to say it is there's literally sometimes where you're like, oh, well, we had a hot dog yesterday. But there's something to be said about just getting a milkshake and sitting outside, because you don't get that. There's so many ice cream options, but there's not a lot of options where you can get ice cream and actually sit outside somewhere. So just wanted to throw that out. Not that you guys need the help, but
no.
It is such a great option.
It really is, and it is something where we take a lot of pride. It is extremely labor intensive. The production alone, 4 days a week, and just with the fresh fruits, right, into the ingredients, or even our Italian ice, pureeing the lemons, and dicing and slicing the watermelons, and there's a lot that goes into it for sure. So we always appreciate when people recognize it, because there's a lot of time and energy that go, and love, of course, that go into making it still, which is great, because the people who make it, they have that same type of passion, feel, look as my grandfather did when he made it, So it's it's also when you know it's like you're doing something right.
It goes back to my first question, is like, well, you know, if you can pinpoint like one reason why you guys have been successful for so long, I think it comes back like just the love of what you're doing, and I think it just transcends to the people that kind of keep coming back, right? And it's a generation.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming back. So where do you see Walters going? Like I feel like, look, I can buy the mustard now, which is awesome. I don't think I haven't. But more and more food trucks, right? I mean, I see you guys everywhere. I mean, I was at Best of Westchester, you guys are there. I see the trucks I was just at the Pound Ridge Flea Market, you guys were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a really good relationship with Pound Ridge. We do their
Yeah.
food truck Fridays. We do their events that they hold throughout the year.
I do the social media for the
Oh, cool.
for the business association. So
Okay.
I'm always there, so I see you guys fairly often there.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, so like where do you, there's second location, so like where do you guys, I mean, where is there room to expand, and do you even want to? You know, I mean, there's only so much bandwidth, but then again, you're a big family, so who knows, there's a lot of tentacles on that octopus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's a very nice feeling of how many people are interested in our business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's extremely flattering. It's also something that's very scary because you want to make the right decisions, of course, right? And that's the unknown. So of course we get offers all the time to franchise and open here and open there and do this and do that, and it's again, the feeling is great. Like, wow, they want us,
Right.
But is it the right decision? So we haven't opened another location in 7 years, right? That was the last one we opened. We really focused on growing our food trucks. So in 2015 we started with one. 2016 we knew we had to add another one. And now here we are, we'll be going into our 10th year. We just launched our 5th food truck.
Wow.
Which the 5th one, when we talk about growth, we have it specifically licensed out for the Connecticut and New England region. There's only so many events we can do in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Between our 4 trucks, we could typically do up to 10 events in a day.
Wow.
But there's also, I can't go to Massachusetts every week. It's flattering that people would like us to go to Vermont or Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Northern Connecticut, but it's very challenging to do. So this gives us the opportunity where we can now do that with having a food truck that's based out of Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
They now have the bandwidth to be able to.
You guys are at the end, right?
Yes. So
I saw you guys at the end.
I'll tell you, and I saw you about Marley, which the Marley brothers are coming from the amp later this month or so.
Yep.
But yeah, so if I could just take a minute to kind of share that, because that was a really cool thing that happened. The principal owner of the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater in Bridgeport, Connecticut, Howard Savant, him and his family love Walters. And they've been coming for years. And just so happened one day last August, I was walking in the picnic area and I saw someone with a Hoodoo Brown t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And Walters and Hoodoo Brown are family. We do collaborations and pop-ups together all the time.
Hoodoo Brown, good.
And I said, oh wow, Hoodoo Brown. I said, we do pop-ups and collaborations with them. And he goes, I know, I've been there. And his father chimed in, he goes, hi, my name is Howard. I've been trying to get you guys at my music festival, Sound on Sound, and at our amphitheater. And I haven't been able to get you. And then from there we talked, and he connected us to having a residency at his amphitheater. So this is our 2nd year doing it. We do every concert there, which is 52 concerts, which has created a lot of opportunity, new customers, but also he really helped kind of partner a relationship with Nick and Corey Watson out of Connecticut, who are who now have this food truck in Connecticut servicing the New England area, that he kind of bridged that gap. So it's very, you talk about timing and just out of that those 2 minutes that I happened to be in that picnic area that day at that time with them still there, and the relationship it formed and what it's led to now. So it's awesome. It's exciting.
And it's really the first truck you see, like when you the first thing you see. I think it's the only. It's not the only.
It's
truck.
not. No. So there's 5 food trucks there.
But you're right there. Like literally, you make the left turn. It's right there.
Yes. As soon as you walk into the amphitheater, you see our truck on the left, right before the stage. And for us, it's a whole nother world. When we get to go there for load-in every concert, and we get to hear James Taylor do his sound check, or anyone else that performs there, and to kind of like peel back that curtain to that world, but then to also participate on it on a weekly basis, it's it's a really cool opportunity, and that relationship has led us to be able to continue to do other major festivals like Governor's Ball and Soundside Festival in Connecticut, and it's led to other opportunities as well. So it's something we're really proud of.
It's funny, as I talk to you, I'm like, I saw the truck there, and I saw the truck
there.
You guys are everywhere. Awesome. So maybe more trucks.
Yeah. So so the goal is, we really have a formula down to the food truck, or especially a Walters food truck, and the operation and how to be able to handle it. We've had a longtime manager who's been with us for 8 out of those 10 years, who's really built it with us. We have an events coordinator who's dedicated to full-time to just handle all of the inquiries and bookings that we do. We still can't handle the demand of inquiries that we get with the amount of trucks that we have and the timing and everything. So yes, the opportunity is definitely there to continue to grow food trucks. And now, the beauty about it when we talk about bandwidth is that myself and my sister can't be on all 4 food trucks, right, every day. But to have other people who love the brand, love the product, who know the business inside and out, for them to be able to kind of now be able to do it on their own, under our guidance and experience is really fun.
Right.
So so we're going to continue to grow with opening more food trucks through license agreements, and our retail and shipping has grown as well. So that was an enormous amount of energy and effort that went into now creating our mustard to be able to sell it on shelves of like Whiteman's, Stu Leonard's, at all DeCicco's and Sons locations, to have our mustard sold on Amazon, to be able to package our hot dogs on a retail level so that they can go on the shelf right next to Nathan's or Sabret. To be able to ship our hot dogs, the mustard, also our pigs in a blanket, the cocktail franks, to be able to ship them nationwide through Goldbelly and the relationship we formed with them. So that's another, it's another area because it gives people the opportunity who can't come to Mamaroneck to be able to purchase the product as well. Because that's something that, in the past, we were known for postcards. People from all over the world would send postcards over the years, right? Which is kind of a lost art now.
Yeah.
Now people just DM us or comment on social media.
Right.
So to hear so many people that say, I live in Florida, I live in Hawaii, I live in Kentucky, I live in California, I love Walters, when can you come here? What can you do, right? So our product is simple in nature. Our food trucks have proven that we can work in small outfits and tight space. We don't need a lot of space. We can do food truck events for as small as 10 people to an event of 35,000 people. So we've really kind of created this formula on how we know how to operate this truck as well. So if we can do it here, we can do it anywhere. So that's again, we have all this history and experience and 105 years behind us, but I feel we as a family, we can say this, we feel like we're just getting to the starting gate. It's like the Olympics are about to, like everything we've been doing is the preparation to get there, and now we're just kind of getting there and we're starting. Because it's all these new these new things to navigate.
Yeah. There's always like, it's almost like a new stepping stone for the next
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I ask this of everybody, but I'm gonna ask you, I think from like a company standpoint. So if Walters came with a tagline, like a movie comes with a tagline, what would it be?
So it's been known
Does it have a tagline?
known for the best since 1919.
Okay.
That was something my grandfather wrote. Known for the best since 1919.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's one of a kind.
Yeah.
We can proudly say that there is no other hot dog in the United States that's been in business as long as Walters, but also the recipe, the formula, the cooking style that goes along with it. No other place in the United States has this like this.
Yeah.
Right? You can find 100% beef hot dogs all over the country, but our formula, the cooking style, the ingredients, everything that goes into it, you can only get it from us. So that's what we're most proud of, that it is truly one of a kind.
Like I said, it's an experience.
Yeah.
I live here. We come here often, we take it for granted like everything, right? But it's an experience. Thanks, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.